Hi, Jonathan. Can everybody hear me okay?
I got you loud and clear, Tom.
Okay. All right. There's only one stock I want to look at. Let's do this, Jonathan. Just bring up a live market and go to Uber.
Okay, get that going here. Want like a 30-minute chart of Uber?
You do a daily first, if you will.
Okay, come on right up. Daily chart, Uber. Well, got some extra data loading in here, so picture will clear up in just a second. Got some data going on.
All right, folks. That's a daily chart. Uber's making highs on this day, which is the divergence from the general market, which tells you it's probably going to go higher. It's higher than Monday's high. It's higher than if you look at, you look at for the stock, it just looks good. Jonathan, if you subtract $3, what can you get for a 93.92 put spread on Uber?
Uber, you want to expire next Friday?
No, go out if you will. Won't you go out, give it a little time, go out to, if you go out to September.
They do have weeklies, so we got September 5th, which is 2 weeks out, 12th, 3 weeks out. The 19th is the monthly, that's 4 weeks out.
Right, what will they pay you 3 weeks out?
3 weeks out, so September 12th. 93, 92 you wanted?
Yeah,
Is 32 cents marked
let's
right
do
now.
that one.
All right, T-Buzz trade.
Now, folks, the average range of Uber is about $3, and so I'm putting it down below that, even though it's bullish. But I'm selling premium as opposed to buying premium because with the market down here near its lows like this, not a day to be buying premium. And Uber is just like I said, it's Uber is sort of accelerating today, so we'll try to take advantage of that with this Uber trade. Buy back at 11 cents, Jonathan. Good to cancel. This will be our trade of the week in here.
Okay. Might be able to get 35 to 40 for it. Just use the limit. See if it
Okay.
works.
Anything over 30 is good for this.
Somebody just took it at 33. The symbol's Uber. Sorry about that.
It's not hard to remember. Yeah, Kevin, it is. It is. Remember this morning, and let me just speak to that. This morning, I talked about in TNT, this is not a high odds day. And the reason I did that is because if you remember, Monday's high was 84 on the S&P, 54.84. And, the problem is you got a low of 54 coming into the day. And right now we've had a low on E-mini of 51. But if you look at a bigger picture, the real support's at 45. So the market, what it's doing is chewing you up. It's giving you a buy signal in the short term. They go up a little bit, not higher than the previous, high, and they're working it lower. So this is a market that is really better to stay on the sidelines. The reason I'm doing this Uber trade, I bought Uber today, and the reason I'm doing this Uber trade is because I like the stock for going a lot higher. And to me, selling a put like I did, $3 below the current level, giving myself enough time, the trend should reemerge to go higher by, next few days is what I'm thinking. That's the reason I picked this stock. So hopefully it's a needle in the haystack I found on a day like today, if that makes any sense. So anyway, that's the way I see it. Jonathan, I don't have anything else for T-Buzz. Aren't we going to train and trade next?
Yeah, 5 minutes time. It'll be kicked off here any minute. Just stay in
Now,
the
are we
room.
going to do that, Jonathan? Are we going to do that in the same room?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay, well, I'm just going to go quiet for a little bit, drink a coffee, and think about things.
Sounds good.
All right, well, while Tom is grabbing a coffee and thinking about a few things, good morning, everybody. Trade and trade starting up in probably going to be a little bit more than 3 minutes, probably on a 5-minute break. S&P futures, 64.57. As Tom mentioned, one of the things that you notice about the market coming into this morning, I think that was in response to Kevin's question about is this considered an asterisk day. We have, coming into this morning, we knew that the range on Monday 64.84 the high in the S&P, and 64.56 the low. As you come into the market this morning, one of the things that we talked about was we had a low that was down at 64.54 in overnight trading, and we hadn't gotten above that 84 high. So market was a little bit biased to the short side. Now it's kind of interesting though, because we've got Home Depot, one of the stocks I've been looking at this week, and Tom and I talked about it over the weekend. They reported earnings. Their earnings weren't that great, but the forward guidance is actually pretty decent. So you had a little bit of a drop in Home Depot, but they're up at 410.94, made up to 414.36, which is a high of the month. And while the rest of the market is coming down, especially with what's going on over in the NASDAQ, Dow futures are positive, and one of the big reasons is Home Depot having a nice little bullish run today. You got to think if the rest of the market is able to catch itself at some point, that might turn out to be something pretty good. So keep an eye on Home Depot. Now, S&P futures at 64.53, nothing much looking positive here. And if we get below the 64.50 area, it could get even worse. But it's kind of an interesting marketplace. We've got this dynamic here where you certainly see that negative NASDAQ pulling the rest of the market down with it. And question is, how far down will it pull the rest of the market? Does the rest of the market move into almost a full-fledged sell-off? So we'll see how that plays out. Now, it is top of the hour. So those of you who are joining now for Train and Trade, let me go ahead and do the typical question. Let me ask everybody, where are you logging in from? What's the weather like in your area? I'm gonna check the weather in my area real quick. Stepping outside, it's warm. It's 87 degrees here. Feels like 98. Should be nice and sunny the whole time. So how about everybody else? How are you guys doing? Hot and humid in Miami. All right. I'm not even going to try and pronounce that city in Georgia, but nice to know it's sunny over there. 73 in Wisconsin, 59 in Sacramento. Frank really enjoys his cool temperatures. 88 in Dallas, feels like 94. Yeah, it's about the same. I think we got a little bit more humidity. But very similar temperatures. Yeah, it's coastal living for you. 68 in Western Maryland. All right, 75 and cloudy and humid in Minneapolis. All right, so 77 in Salt Lake. Looks like pretty reasonable temperatures across the board. So again, I think one of the big stories as far as weather is that Hurricane Erin still looks like she's going to be slinging out into the North Atlantic without making landfall. But it looks like she'll come close enough. Those of you in, it's like North Carolina, Virginia, Maryland area should feel some of the effects of that storm. So there may be some rain coming your way, but it looks like the hurricane itself is going to spin off into the North Atlantic. So it looks like we got Tom back. And Tom, overall market negative. Did you see Home Depot this morning, though?
Yeah, it was I watched it and I said to myself, they're selling it. And then, I think a couple issues. Number one, you got Home Depot reporting on a day that the market's finally decided to correct. And you got the general index, traders in there putting pressure on it. Then you got the normal, just a normal correction. So I did watch it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the guidance was probably what saved them a little bit, but also just in terms of, with Home Depot, we're always interested in the weather patterns, right?
Sure.
So there are apparently two storms brewing up behind Hurricane Aaron. So I think that might be okay. There is the potential for something here which should drive a little bit of commerce at Home Depot. So getting ready for. I think that's probably one of the things going on there. But yeah, if the overall market was a little bit more flat, I think that would be a huge move in Home Depot today. I think it's very much muted by the overall market.
Yeah, it's sort of it's an interesting day. This morning I posted, Chuck, did you see what I posted in there? Today's not a good high odds day.
Yeah.
And it's just that you got to track these numbers, and the numbers were flashing. We're not bearish, but we're not bullish because the lows were held. But now the lows are coming down this 45 area, and it's it's creating what I would call a
Yeah, it's getting to the point where I think that the broader market probably could have sustained a little bit here, but the Nasdaq is definitely negative and has pulled the broader market into a point where, as you said, we're making those new lows. So now it becomes, okay, we're going to put the economics aside and we're just going to ride the numbers because they're going a certain direction.
Yeah, I mean, you get this kind of, we had a SPX class this morning, and I pointed out to everybody that even though the SPY was bullish, the Nasdaq was bearish or neutral at best, and it was a stay out market because of that. Because you want everything in sync. Hank Wagner used to say, you want all four of the big boys going in your direction before you take a trade. And you remember him, right, Chuck?
Yeah, I remember him.
Yeah. And I never forget that statement. Get all the four horses running together. Well, this morning they sure were not running together. And because of that, you're sitting there looking at a market that's on the defensive. Now you got another issue. Here's the other issue. You've got the high of the week, 64.84. And now the low just got created down there at
64.39.
Yeah, 64.39, which you're starting to get into some key support, on the market pulling back here. So it's an interesting set of numbers as far as I'm concerned. Okay.
Yeah.
And
quick reminder, Tom, you're talking about some of those numbers it's coming down to. What last week's open 64.2275, I believe.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, so, those are the numbers. Let's get into the slides. We've got a lot to talk about and a short time to get there, the way I think about it. But I pretty well circled the wagons on a lot of things. And I'm glad I did, because this has been sort of extraordinary to watch this today, If you know what I mean.
Yeah, definitely. I think this was a market that really could have tilted either way. If the Nasdaq has decided to start climbing, we'd be talking about something completely different. But of course, it kept selling off, and that was the big. They gave me a little hope when they got above the midpoint of RB3, but that was only momentary, right? As soon as they came back below that RB3 midpoint, by the way, pay attention to your reference bars, ladies and gentlemen.
Right.
That sort of put the concern in. Then we break the low of RB3, and we've been doing nothing but going down since.
Anyway, let me just say the following. It pays to have everything in sync when you take risks. And that's the point of this whole discussion. All right, so risk of volume trading, past performance is not indicative of future results. In my opinion, there's money to be made, but maybe not just this moment, okay? In time. Now let's update this and take a look at what is still bullish and what's pulling back to bullish numbers.
Okay, these were just updated as of 11:07. That's less than a minute ago.
Now I want to point out something. See the E-mini right there? Does everybody see that? You're talking about a 3-day high of 63.77. We're still 60 points above that, just to show you how powerful the market was coming into the day. And so it's still bullish for the E-mini, NASDAQ, and Dow. You can't get caught up in a short-term big air pocket, I would call it, okay? Crude is still short, just going through the list. Apple is still long, Amazon's long. MU is still long. Look at MU, what it's done for the month. Wouldn't hurt to breathe a little bit. All right, what else has got you looking at? Meta is interesting. If you look at it, it had a 3-day high of 383. I would put an alert in at 383. Meta's pulled back this week from 795 to 752. I'd put an alert in at that 3-day high if it swings back bullish. Okay. Berkshire's got a bid now. It's finally bullish. That's the first time we've seen bullish numbers on Berkshire, if you think about it, in about 4 months. It's like the nuclear sector is correcting. Lockheed Martin's still strong. Hood is an interesting stock. This morning in the pre-market, Hood went up to 116. Now, if you go check the average range of Hood each day, it's about $6. So if you subtracted 6 from 116, puts you about 110. And he's got, what do you write out about 110 there, Jonathan? Is that what I'm looking at?
Yeah, 109.82.
Yeah, keep your eye on Hood, because Hood could be a buy down here on this pullback, especially this afternoon. So put Hood in the watchful eye, okay? HBI, you could take HBI off. I'm done with that stock. Eland still looks good. Bitcoin is correcting. If you look at Bitcoin today, it's down 2,700. And it's right in support. It looks like Bitcoin's in support right here. I'd be very careful on that, okay? Circle's still bearish. CoreWeave still bearish. Reddit is still bullish. I want to look at Reddit. 208. Reddit hit 252 yesterday, and today, let me check Reddit for today, what it did. Oh, Reddit. One second, I'll find it. Reddit. Yeah, Reddit went down today to roughly 228. So Reddit went to 228. Again, yesterday morning it was at 252. Now Reddit, has a pretty good range each day. That's pretty interesting, Reddit. That stock fascinates me. All right, what's the QQQ telling you? The QQQ is telling you that in conjunction with the NASDAQ, it's been a sell today. It opened at 576.39. It's at 571. Its average true range is 5, so it should be at support. Now, this time of day leads us into Genesis, and what happens at Genesis 4 out of 5 days? The opposite starts happening. So we should be looking for a low around this time frame, the way I'm reading it. We'll see. Doesn't have to be that way, but I would expect with S&P about 45, odds favor a reversal. Okay, that's that. Still looking good on some of these dividend stocks we got.
All right, that's the 10, or that's the what used to be called the 25 tickers. It's now probably 70 tickers.
We got a lot in there, don't we?
We do. Let me share the slides. That spreadsheet's on slide number 4.
Okay.
But we'll move on. So just a reminder, all of the train and trade recordings can be found on Tom's YouTube channel. That's dtitrader.com/YouTube. And then any trade that Tom gives during the train and trade session will be tracked in the TNT program. So if you want to join the TNT program, that's going to be dtitrader.com/TNT. And I'll post both those links into the chat here as we move on in today's presentation.
All right, today's focus is using a 2-bar strategy to get an early mover. Okay, so let's think about that. You got to know where the opening is, you got to know where the high is, you got to know where the low is in the current price. That gives you 4 elements of a chart if you're looking at it. Just have that background as we look at this. All right, Jonathan. Now, if you look at the 2-bar strategy here, the higher high is easy to see. The sell signal is easy to see. The stay out bar, okay, it's pretty interesting, isn't it? To stay out. Everybody understand this is the picture. No matter what time frame you're looking at, you are to evaluate the market. Okay, keep that in mind. Buy signal, sell signal, stay out. During yesterday's training trade, we taught you how to find stocks that are setting up for the week. On Monday, we want to see stocks make a higher high over the prior week's high. That sets up the stocks that we're looking at. Again, a weekly chart would tell us it had a higher high. Does everybody understand this first step to finding the movers? Okay.
Now, Tom, because of what the market has done today, our first example as we go through these slides is a stock that is not setting up. And the second example is going to be one that is setting up, just for the framework around what we're about to cover.
Okay. Sounds good. All right. So you got Hood here, right?
Hood's been a nice long trend. Just wanted to show you the difference between what a weekly chart looks like on a series of higher highs. That should be easy to spot. Fantastic trend on a weekly basis on Hood. But if we narrow down to this week, we can see we haven't had a higher high yet, have we? 117.70 was the week high last week, which we've not been above this week yet.
Does everybody see that? It looks like a small thing, but it's a big thing. If you look at Hood, Hood went up to 116.40 in the pre-market, right? Setting up, and then it reversed. Does everybody see that? That's a big thing, knowing these numbers on the weekly, okay? Especially here on Tuesday. All right, keep going, Jonathan. Now, once they get past that first test, higher high over last week, are they higher than Monday's high? Okay. A daily chart of stocks making higher highs over Monday will look like that.
Again, notice the same pattern, just like Tom said, same pattern, just changing the time frame down to
Right.
a daily basis. Now, Hood did make a higher high above Monday's high, but look where it found resistance. It found resistance right at the high from last week.
This is a very great example to show you don't get the cart ahead of the horse. Everybody see that? This is a classic case of, hey, I forgot step one. And now, what are you behind $5 because you forgot step one? Does that sink in? Get your steps down weekly, daily. Then we get to the Mondays and Tuesday. Okay, keep going.
Okay, again, make the point that the 2-bar strategy works the same across different time frames, just narrow the time frame down. So keep it simple. And of course, what's next? 30-minute charts.
Yeah.
Again,
this is the pattern. I call good trading as playing good bingo. You're matching things. Anybody ever play bingo? You match those things. Good on the weekly, good on the daily, good on the 30-minute. Perfect. Everybody see that? Okay.
Let's look at a good one here. Uber.
All right. What's the first thing we're going to do? Look at the weekly chart. So let's go and take a look. I'd say that's higher than last week, wouldn't you, Jonathan?
That is definitely higher than last week. Yep.
Okay.
And we're trading near the highs of the week as well.
All right. Let's go to the daily.
There's the daily chart.
It's higher than yesterday.
And here's the 30-minute chart.
Now, do you see why I sold a put on Hood? Oh, not Hood, on Uber. Does everybody see how that setup came into play to put money in your pocket, hopefully? Everybody see the process. This is so important to understand this process.
Yeah, when you put it on paper, it should be very clear and excellent examples, but it takes a lot of discipline. It takes a lot of discipline to, follow the process. But I want to make sure everybody sees the difference between those two examples. And I think everybody does, Tom.
Yep, I think so too. Again, go back to what I said early this morning in TNT. I said the odds are not favoring a favorable trade day. I knew it early this morning when I saw the numbers. And I followed S&P to get to that conclusion, okay? So there you go. Not high enough to go long, not low enough to go short. Are there any questions about what I covered today? I think as long as I can bring you in train and trade these kind of educational insights, it really is going to make you say, I better go learn something new, right? I think that's why the popularity of this is going to grow. We got a new high in numbers today, and we're pretty excited about that, okay? Now, Jonathan, what I'd like to do, I want everybody to walk around and let these lessons sink in, because I'm about to cover something that I'm very excited about when we come back. So why don't you give us about a 5-minute break, let everybody walk around, and then y'all tell me, okay, how valuable what I showed you today is going to help you in the future, and then we'll get my next phase of slides, okay?
5 minutes.
5 minutes. I'll be right back myself, Jonathan.
Okay.
All right, Jonathan.
All right, Doc, let's see what we got next.
Now, last night I introduced an exciting new beta program on the SPX. This morning we had our first class. Who was at the first class this morning? Let me ask that question. Who was that? What I'm going to do, and makes this so much different from what I've done in the past, is that I'm going to go through each element of making money with the ultimate goal of teaching people to be 70% accurate. Hard goal, but I put enough lag time in here to show people how this works. And so therefore we had this, what'd you call it? Master Class Unlimited or something? You called it something here during this beta stage, right? What do you call it?
I think we called it Masterclass No Limit.
Yeah, Masterclass No Limit. The difference between the two master classes, the very first one I did was on the SPX. And did everybody see what Jim did with the first one? You might post what Jim did in there. The second class tomorrow is going to be focused on the XSP, okay? And that's Thursday tomorrow, right, Jonathan? Is that what we're doing, right? Tomorrow?
Yeah, they'll be on Thursday though. Today's
Oh, I'm sorry. Am I ahead of myself?
Yep.
What's the day? What's
Today's
the day?
Today.
Yeah, I'm ahead of myself. Thursday, we'll do the second master class, which is the educational portion and all that. But this is beyond that. This is taking what I did there, all the work I did there in the, to get set up for that. This is taking it beyond that. I want to show you how to apply it and learn every element of it in a real market. And to do that, I had to have a service. And that's what this is a service. But anyway, let's keep going. Now, the 0-day expiration is probably one of the most searched titles on the internet. And I got to give Fred credit for getting me focused on this. I've been eating up with it ever since it whipped my butt the first couple of weeks of trying to trade it. And I said, I'm going to figure this out. And I did figure it out. And I got it now. I got it now. And I'm so happy to share it with you. All right, next slide. Now, I say it's the toughest market to ever learn to trade, but you don't have to go through what I did in learning. I'm going to show you what you need to know. I didn't get there overnight. By staying disciplined, which is a key element, I built a simple, repeatable system that fits the opening hour. And I'm sharing it now. Both the XSP, SPX, XSP are cash settled options based on the S&P 500. SPX options reference the full index, about 600 and something thousand for the value, and then the mini is about 1/10. XPS gives fast directional exposure, and I wanted to develop a simple buy call, buy put example where everybody could play. Everybody could be part of it because it's huge money if you get it. If you can be disciplined and do your entry and everything, all the elements along the way, you'll love it. It'll grow your account faster than anything else I've ever experienced because it's fast and furious. Heck, it happens. XSP offers a smaller notational that's well suited for credit spreads and fine tuning risks. And I'm going to show you how to do it individually and how to do them together. The two taxes I'll focus on, simple. How many people here could buy a call option, pay a certain amount of money for it, and sell it and at a higher price within minutes or hours of buying it? Or how many people could do that? Like if I said, hey, the market's going to go pop here, how many people could do that and make money? It's the simplest form of making money with options, but it's a very tough form, okay? XSP, though, is a, hey, Phelps, Phelps was scheduled to be here, but his father got sick, and hope he's getting better. But XSP is more suited, as far as I'm concerned, for selling options. So I got a strategy there I've been using for years, and I'm going to integrate the two in this program. Short direction. Sometimes they'll be on the same side as the direction. Sometimes they'll be on opposite sides. Sometimes they'll be individual. But the idea is to generate cash through a process of discipline, accuracy, and not being, lassoed to the market. So I've got specific times I'm going to do it. Okay. That's exactly what I'm doing. Now, my plan, I started this morning, is to beta test between 9:45 and 10:30 starting next week. But I got a lot to do before next week. And therefore, I've already set another class for this Friday at 9:40 to 10, right, Jonathan, this Friday?
Yeah, we did. Friday at 9:45 to 10:30.
Yep. So I'm going to be on this, and I got a lot to cover, maybe 4 or 5 times before we go actually start doing what I would call the real beta test. Okay. That's my plan. I got a great plan. Never done this before. I'm going to make sure everybody in this limited group of people can do it the right way before they put their own money on the line. I'm really putting the odds in my favor as the leader of the pack to make sure everybody's up to speed. That's a big, big burden, but I'm willing to do it because it's that big once you get there. Okay. So I'll use the rest of August to do that. Last week, we did our overall class on the SPX, and people loved it. Who attended the class last week? Based on the feedback I got from that first class, so let's take it to a different level. You wanted more. So this is more, okay? Now, this is what Jim posted yesterday with what he learned from the class. Does that get your attention? That one of our students took what I taught him, one class only, and he popped it for that yesterday. That ought to get you excited. He's just like you are. He listened, he did it, and let me tell you, this is the hope of anybody doing what I do, to see that kind of rapid response. I don't expect everybody to be that way, but I do expect to teach you what we learn and put you where you're in an odds in favor place. Now, the beta time will officially start next week, but prior to that beta time on Tuesday and Thursday next week, I definitely want to do some training on the side. We did some on the side this morning. The new service for SPX and XSP, I'll focus on Tuesday and Thursday for trading with you, but I'm going to teach you where you can do it every day of the week. The first time frame is trying to get the direction, 9:30 to 10:45. If I can get everybody to be in 70% accurate, okay, you might not even do the second part of the trade, but yeah, you will. I'm sure greed will step in there. But 9:30 to 10:45. Market timing is the focus, and I'm going to put my market timing reputation on the line to teach it to you. You're going to get at least 70% accurate. At 3:30 to 4, we'll do a traditional sell option with expiration dates anywhere from 1 to 3 days. Now, I plan to do about 10 trades during the next 2 weeks on the beta time period, a total of 10 trades. Those are beta test trades. I wanted to give you a little scholarship before we started the full program in September. This is a great way I've got this set up, I think. I've never had one set up so good for people, to taste that success. It'll be simple and straightforward. Like today, I went over things like setup, how much the SPX moves in relation to the E-mini, just different things you got to know if you're going to trade this thing successful. And as you saw, people that were there thought the class was great, and they can't wait until Friday. I do another set of things you got to know before you put your own money on the line. Okay? That's my plan. This is the key. If I can get everybody where they're 70% accurate or better, I've done it, and we're going to have so much fun doing this. In fact, if you're one of the original 100, you're going to be glad you were, because if I can achieve that, then I've done something really special for you. Okay? Now, if I'm right, I said, Jonathan, let's do a frame of what my goal is. Next slide, please. If we're 70% accurate and I make 280 bucks 7 times, and I lose 250 bucks 3 times, then every 10 trades using my technique will produce 1,210 bucks. Does everybody see the power of this goal? Do the math on that, okay? Do the math on what I just showed you there. It's compelling. What's going on here?
Oh, sorry about that, Tom. I've got to do some work for Tuesday Power Plays. I didn't realize I was sharing that. Yep. My apologies.
Okay. For those who join today, you'll have a unique opportunity to supercharge your results. But there is a limitation coming. You got to listen up. After signing up, you'll be offered a chance to add the Pro Masterclass series to your order. This is beyond what I'm doing for free over the course of your subscription. I plan on taking this to the highest level I can get it in this year and bringing you along with me. Okay? That's my plan. If you take action and join, you can add those additional training sessions today at a discounted price. Okay? Now, here's some of the sessions I'll cover, not in the what I call the pre-beta test that I'm doing now, but once I get it. How to use SPX and XSP together, the 5 criteria to let this baby run after entry, how to recognize, this is very valuable here, how to recognize the 15 minutes if the trade's a loser. If you can recognize it that early, that's gonna make your numbers look a lot better. Using different expiration dates with XSP to diversify the week. The main reason traders will lose with SPX. Main reason traders will lose with the XSP. And how to avoid those losses. How to organize your trading platform to monitor your trades, or you just look up there and see how you're doing. Insights to order entry and exits that is not traditionally taught, and using our reference bars to refine your timing. A big picture plan to make sure this works for you. That means we can individualize it for you if I keep the number less than 100. Okay? And that's the plan. These are all included with the additional offer after you sign up tonight. So once you sign up for the additional class. Now let's review the SPX alert beta offer. Beta period will last until September the 15th, which means you're going to get from now to the middle of September a lot of practice getting it down. You know, let me just tell you, getting everybody 70%. You know how hard it is to do that? Getting everybody market timing in their blood and accomplishing that will be one of the major feats of 2025. Okay? That's my goal. We'll have a Telegram channel included. Now, what's important about that? It's going to be important because how many people, when you get a trade alert, have to jump off the screen, go somewhere else, get the trade, remember what the trade is, put it in your trading pack? You find that a little difficult at sometimes, especially when the markets are moving? I did too. So here's what I did. I said, we're going to put all the trades inside this Telegram channel. And you'll know what to buy, when to buy, and how to buy it during those times. What do you think about that one? We just cut out all the delay to get you right on top of the trade. I think that's important. Posted in real time. And it's going to look something like this. Hey, folks, we need to go long. This call. Buy it here. Put your target in here. Gets down to 75% on the option. Take your loss. It's going to be that simple and straightforward with the SPX. Anybody here at the basic level can follow this and do well. If we get the direction right. If we don't get the direction right, we'll lose. But you're betting on the fact we can do that because I will teach you the setups that pay. Okay? And that's part of this pre-beta. Here's the times we'll trade from 9:40 to 10:30 and from 3:30 to 4. So you're not tied with the machine. 9:40 in the morning, that opening hour, you'll say it's a buy. To go up, buy to go down, or buy to go down, and then XSP will be sort of a relaxing way to add extra money to your account through the XSP. That's my plan. I love this plan. It's so good, I'm going to do it myself. It's that good. Okay. Now, I will do a minimum of 100 trades over the next year. 100 trades. That means that even the minimum trader will make money if we accomplish two things: accuracy and discipline. We're going to get the accuracy right during this stage before the subscription even starts. So take the fear off the table. Master class, no limit right now. I will do as much as possible. I might even do some. You might, let me tell you, I'm going to make sure everybody's ready to go. And I can tell by asking questions and giving you a verbal test. Okay? See if we're ready to move forward. I like that master class, no limit. I want everyone up to speed with high accuracy and hitting our goals when we go official on September 15th. Now, I've never offered anything like this in my entire 40-year career, okay? But you got to act if you want to be one of the 100 people that come through the door. There's only 70 slots left, folks. This is going to be gone. So if you want to get, that's what I'm talking about today. I'll be offering it again one more time, probably, unless y'all take all the slots off the table. But this is it. 70 left is all that's left. And they're already in the Telegram channel and received one of my masterclass No Limits and got one scheduled for Friday. I value accuracy in trading, which lowers your risk. So, am I any good at market timing? Is what you ought to be asking. Well, let's just check out what we've done. I'd say 93% accuracy in May was a pretty good market timer, wouldn't you? Got better once we got into June. We were waiting, Jonathan. 27 winners, 100% accuracy. But we didn't stop there, did we? If you attended my Sawgrass, of which a lot of you did, face to face, we're 100% accurate there. June was an unbelievable month. I don't know if I ever have another one like it, but that was just unbelievable. Okay. I didn't believe it myself. It was so good. In July, we came back down to earth a little bit at 86% accurate in the first month of the quarter. So can I teach you enough that you can be 70% accurate? I think I can by doing it this way. If I can achieve our goals, and you can with accuracy and risk, this will your go-to trade each day. Okay? And that's the way it'll work. A day like today, if you got what I teach you, you could have got in there and traded this sucker. Okay? In other words, regardless of what the stock market does, like today is sort of a chew them up, spit them out day, you could have got in there and traded on a day like today. You have the freedom to trade with accuracy on any day you choose. Trade with me on Tuesday and Thursday. When it comes to market timing, no one is better. And Bill's only been with me 15 years. That's not a light statement for somebody that just showed up. He's watched me. He's put his own money on the line. The membership's $2,000. Sign up at dtitrader.com/SPXbeta, or you can call. I got people online that'll help you. 904-706-3532. If you want us to call you, type your name, email, and phone number in there, and Jonathan will take your number, and somebody will get a hold of you to make sure that gets one of these spots that are left. Okay? And I just got an idea for Don Snow, and I agree with you, Don. We'll do that. Jonathan, we need to do that at the end of each of the sessions of practice. We need to ask those questions. All right, folks, this is it. Get part of it. Got a few questions that I came up with that we ought to go through, and then get on board. Let's go through the questions, Jonathan. How do you get best results? By listening and writing down and taking the criteria and learning it and internalizing it, where you can do it yourself when you get the signal initially, as we put it out in the Telegram channel. Again, you call 904-706-3532 if you got any questions about your situation. If your account's small, I'm going to teach you how to avoid the pattern day trade rule. Very simple, but we have one of my masterclass unlimited devoted to that. What size account do you need? This was asked earlier. I'd say 2,000 would be plenty of money to do this program. Now, you'll probably want to put more money on the line after your confidence grows and you see the results, but 2,000 is plenty to get started in your trading account. Will you be able to do the trades? Well, if you were able and smart enough to open a brokerage account, I say you'll be able to do the trades because it's a lot more simple just buying a call, buying a put than anything else when it comes to options. That's my opinion. You'll have to tell me. If you need extra help, I'll give it to you. This is about you hitting that accuracy rate and having that game plan and following the worksheet that I give you at the continuation of Masterclass Unlimited. Any other questions? Type it in here. I'll answer mine. The trades will be found right inside the Telegram channel, simply laid out during that time period. Why am I limited to 100 people? Well, folks, let me tell you why I'm limited. Because I'm giving almost 30 days of training on top of it, okay? Because this is going to be what I believe the go-to class that everybody's going to want to be part of when you start posting your results in here in Train and Trade as I do every day. Absolutely, you can do it in a retirement account. Absolutely. Yes, Roe at DTI Trader will get you to me. If he can't answer the question, I'll be glad to talk to you myself. I'll give you that commitment. I'm willing to commit to talk to you. If you got something you can't get past that I say or do, we'll clear it up. Look what Deborah typed in there. Thank you, Deborah. Somebody ought to copy and paste that and show it to everybody else. If you're new to trading, oh man, I wish I could have signed up like for something this when I was new. Yes, it will work for you. Have the confidence. I can get you where you'll be good. Is there a refund policy? Absolutely. You got 14 days to decide if it's for you or not. But I need you to let me know after that 14 days because I got a lot of people that want to do it. There's the membership. Sign up there, dtitrader.com/SPX beta or call 904-706-3532. Any other questions anybody have? Now's the time. Remember, we got 70 slots left. After today, my guess is we won't have that many. This is not something you want to procrastinate on with what we're putting together. Everybody tells me this entry level period that we're going to do. Let's go. Stan says, what is the focus on Tuesday and Thursday? Great question, Stan. How busy do you think I am during the week, Stan? To carve out this time to do this took a lot, but I'm going to do it, okay? Talk to Kelly Barber, she'll handle it, Keith. Yeah, David, you can do cash trades in there, absolutely. But after you grow it, you won't want to have a cash account. You want to do those XSP trades. Herman's saying, please, Kelly, sign me up. Don't leave me on the sidelines. Put your phone number there, Herman. We'll make sure we got a spot for you, okay? Kelly goes to lunch and you'll lose your spot. We're going to make sure you got it, Herman. Jonathan, make sure Herman gets a spot. Folks, I'm pretty excited about this. 70 slots are left. Well, actually, 65 are left. I've had 5 people send me notes and they're signing up. So I don't know how many's going to be left when I quit talking, but here's what we're going to do. Adam is going to really stream what I did last night. And, that way you can hear it again if you need to. But I wanted to do it in person myself because I feel like this is a day to get a plan in place to help everybody. And this is our plan. Any last minute questions for me? John, I'll be glad to talk to you, but that's probably something we won't do. But I'll be glad to talk to you. Put your phone number. I'll call you. See this card? I'm gonna put a card here, and I'll give you a call. Put your phone here, and I'll call you. Okay, folks. Jonathan, what else I got today? Anything else?
Oh, let me check the schedule real quick. Tuesday, nothing else rest of the day.
All right, one thing I'd like to do, Jonathan, I'd like to go through with you and take that 2-bar concept and see what's coming out of all this dust. Right now we're at 64.43 on this. And I want to see what's surviving after this kind of correction down here to support. Okay, fair enough.
That sounds like a great idea.
All right, folks, let's listen to last night's version. Adam's going to take it over. Thank you for today. Take what we said, be part of it. I'll see everybody. When's my next public appearance? Tomorrow? What time?
11 o'clock, Train and Trade.
Train and Trade. No problem there, John. Y'all have a great day, or special, if you know what I mean, sort of special. So let me go around the deal. Let me get everybody here. Hey, Phelps, I talked to your dad. I hope he's feeling better. Glenn says he's already called Jeffrey. He's getting in when he heard I was doing it. Yep, I hope he is. Phelps. We'll get scheduled. I told him I'd call him Wednesday and we would get another date and try to get it set up, in September, I guess. But I see Gwendolyn's here, and wow, Bill's here, and Cy. Yep. Yep. There's Ray. Hey, Ray. They're pouring in. Let me give it a couple more seconds. That way I won't have to repeat myself, because give everybody a fair shot. How you like that? Fair shot. I appreciate everybody getting here early and everything, and we'll get started. Let's give it about 2 minutes and then we'll get started. Is that fair enough? 2 minutes, 8:03, we'll start. Yeah, let's do that. New people here, so hello, new people. Type in where you're signed. First of all, risk involved in trading. Past performance is not indicative of future results. And you can read the details, but the bottom line is you got to manage risk and you got to keep a balanced approach to trading. Now, this came off the press, and this is one reason I wanted to get it to you. I haven't, let me put it this way. I'm breaking ground on the SPX. And you can look here, Jim from California just took one of my classes, but this is even going to be more special. Does that get your attention? Is that attention getting step that was posted less than an hour ago? Does that get your attention when you see something like that? That's a student just like you that listened and learned, and now he is putting some pretty substantial dollars in his bank account because of that. And that's why tonight I'm talking about this. That came in at 6:11 tonight. Tonight we have Adam, Denise, Kevin, Victor, Chad, Jeffrey, Kelly, Carissa here on the lines to help you out. Adam, if you can post their email too, because a lot of times the phones get jammed up, and if they got the email, they could reach out and grab somebody, okay? Now, for the folks that don't know who I am, I'm Tom Busby. I've been doing this a long time, active trader, former member of Chicago Mercantile Exchange. I've been an active trader a long time, have 3 books, Winning the Day Trading Game, The Markets Never Sleep, and Trade to Win. In my opinion, if you learn what I teach you tonight, when you got involved in trading, when you decided you wanted to trade and invest, this is what you were looking for and hoping to learn what I'm teaching tonight. And this is something that will propel your ability to accomplish your goals if you'll listen and learn and be part of it. Okay? Now, Seven Sisters, you look at it right now, the market's still bullish. Today it was resting, and tomorrow will be an interesting day. My 10 plays for the week right here, I posted those last night. These are the tickers: Palantir, NVIDIA, Reddit, TQQ, SPY, QQQ, Hood, Cisco, Apple, and Gold. Now, warning, I had to put this in there because I don't want you to think this was easy. This was not easy to get here tonight. I think the SPX is one of the toughest markets I've ever attacked or learned to trade. And I've traded futures, I've traded all of them. And I didn't get there overnight. But by staying disciplined with a goal in mind, I built a simple, repeatable system that fits the opening hour. That way, you're ready and I'm ready to share this with you as part of my beta group. Now, what are the SPX and XSP? Just briefly, they reference the full index, a large contract, very big. And then they break it down to the mini version, which is XSP, about 1/10 the size, okay, of the SPX. Just to give you an idea of how big this contract is and the power of the punch, the power of the punch. The 2 tactics we focus on for the SPX, this is my rules, this is what I focus on. I buy call options. How many people here know how to buy a call option? Tell me now if you know how to buy a simple call option. That's where the focus, my focus on the SPX is. When the tape and timing align, aiming for a clean, same day rule. The second part is XSP, where I sell short direction credit spreads, typically 1 to 3 days to expiration when the structure develops or favors defined risk. This is the power of putting these two together or trading them individually, which means it accomplishes everything you ever wanted to accomplish when it came to investing or trading. Now, what I'll do time to time, if I get a market, I'll buy the call option, which means I want the market to go up, and I'll go sell a spread on the XSP, two instruments, separate goals. I'll teach you how to do this, pairing the directional intent with structured risk, not hedging anything or guessing. This is a high odds type trade I'm going to teach as one of the options that you might want to do. My plan going forward, I'll use the rest of August as a beta test on Tuesday and Thursday between 9:45 and 10:30. 9:45 and 10:30. I'll be focusing on the SPX during that time period. 9:45 and 10:30. Last week we held session 1 of our master class. We finished that up this week on Thursday. And there's Jim talking about doing what he did. They already got it posted. He did it today. He attended my master class and learned some pretty serious information. Okay? Now that sets up the start of the beta time period for the trading program next week. That's the plan. In other words, I'm going to get you, before your actual subscription to this service starts, up to speed through training, education, by doing trades that some people can do, other people need to learn how to do. I don't want to leave anybody behind. How many people like that idea where we go slow and then kick off the real deal in September? Everybody like that approach? That's what I'm going to do for this service. What is the SPX beta program? It's a new service trading both the SPX and XSP. We'll focus right now on Tuesday and Thursday for trading. The time frame will be in the morning, 9:30 to 10:45, and in the afternoon from 3:30 to 4. I plan to give about 10 trades over the next 2 weeks during the August beta test period. My goal by doing that is to make sure everybody's up to speed before we enter into September. I'll make the beta program simple and straightforward. We'll focus on getting our accuracy to 70% or better. How many people would like to have the comfort of knowing that when you traded a long call or a long put, you were 70% accurate? I'm going to teach you how to do it in the next 2 weeks. It's not hard, but you'll have to listen and learn. Now here's a look, what would happen if we can hit our goals with these 10 trades? If we're 70% accurate, using the profile I set up, you will make 7 winners, $280. You'll have 3 losers. You'll make a gross of $1960, and you'll lose $750, which means our goal at the end of beta would be at $12.10. Everybody follow the math there? This is the setup I'm going to teach, and that's our profit goal over those 10 trades. That's where I got to get everybody to before we start the service, in my opinion. $400, Gwen. Takes $400 to do what I'm talking about. Does that get you excited, Gwen? $400. Okay. Now, for those who join today, you'll have a unique opportunity to supercharge your results. After signing up, you'll be offered a chance to add SPX Pro Masterclass Series to your order. This will only be offered tonight or up to the limit of people that buy the program. Over the next year, I will do that to take you to the next tier of education and trading. I plan to hold an additional 10 SPX XSP training sessions at key times throughout the year. Everybody understand that? This is once the service starts. Once the service starts. Only those who take action and join will be qualified to add on these additional training sessions. Now, here's the training sessions. I want to go through these where you understand how to use these two vehicles, SPX and XSP together. That's a topic I will cover. The 5 criteria I use to let the SPX run. In other words, I call it run to the roses after entry. How to recognize within 15 minutes. This is a beauty one here. This one here is worth a fortune to you. How to recognize within 15 minutes if an SPX trade is a loser. How many people could use something like that? Using different expiration dates with XSP to diversify the week. That's a class. The main reason traders lose with the SPX. I figured it out. After losing a little bit, I figured out why people lose. It's a timing issue, right? Time of day. The main reason traders lose with XSP. How to organize your trading platform to monitor your trades. You got to know that one. Insights to how to enter the orders and exit that is not traditionally taught. I'll show you what I do. And using our reference bars to refine your timing. And a big picture plan to make sure this works for you. That's the big one there. Sort of to sum it all up to make sure everybody's on the same sheet of music. Pretty outstanding master classes there, isn't it, on the topics. Let's review the SPX 0-day alert beta offer. You ready? These are all included with the additional offer after you sign up tonight.
I think the slide reversed right there.
Huh?
It looks like those 2 slides were reversed. There we go.
Okay. Let's review the SPX 0-day beta offer. Beta time period will last until September 15th, which means I will put the time with you to make sure I get you to our 70% accuracy rate, at which time on September 15th, your subscription will start. Does everybody understand that? I'm not going to leave anybody behind. I will do what I need to do to make sure you experience the joy to have this under your control, at which time we'll start. We're going to do it through the Telegram channel. And this is the beautiful part. How many people are always having to look for trades when you're notified in a trade service? You got to go find one. How many people, are trying to find it, and then, by the time you get there, the trade's over? I'm not going to do that with this service. I'm going to post the trades directly into the Telegram channel, i.e., buy the SPX, pay this price, exit this price. We're wrong here. It will be typed in there in simple language. Anybody here can understand. You won't have to hesitate. It'll be right there. And the beautiful thing about it, you'll know the time is going to be tight. Here's an example. If I was buying the SPX, buying a long call, had an August expiration, I'd give you the date, I'd tell you the strike price, where to enter, where the target was, and where we're wrong. Simple, straightforward. Everybody got it? Won't be any mistake for getting tied up on your computer. You'll have it right there on your channel. Now, remind you, I will be doing this twice a day on Tuesday and Thursday, SPX 9:45 to 10:30, and 3:30 to 4. Now, here's what you can expect. Once the service starts, there will be over 100 trades over the next year. You do the math. Master classes held during the beta time period is to get you ready to get your accuracy up. That's important to me. I don't want you to be at 30% accurate. I don't want you to be 40% accurate. I want everybody here to be 70% accurate. So the master class no limit goes into effect starting tomorrow. Everybody understand that? I want everyone to be up to speed trading at high accuracy and hitting your goals before the service starts. I've never offered a course quite like this before. I've never had the opportunity to play this game that we call trading so easy. No, straight calls, straight puts on the SPX. So you must act now to be part of it. Limitation. Here's the only limitation that's going to stop you. I'm only accepting 100 people. That's right, 100 people. We're going to cut it off after that. We got more than enough people in here to take all the subscriptions, so don't hesitate. Okay? Do not hesitate. Keep in mind, I value accuracy if you know the way I trade. If you have 70% accuracy, it lowers your risk. Let's review. In May, I was 93% accurate. You were there with me, most of you. In June, I threw a perfect month out there, 27 for 27. I went face to face with you and was perfect there. I value accuracy. With accuracy in the SPX, it is a great combination to grow your account, maybe going from small to big, okay? In July, 86% accuracy. You get the idea how accurate I am at trading? I'm going to teach you to get 70% accurate with the SPX. It might be higher. I won't limit you if you're shooting at 80 or 90, but we're going to plan for 70, okay? If we achieve our goals with the accuracy and the risks that we outline, this will be a go-to trade each and every day for you. If you want it, you will have the knowledge, the ability to take advantage of what I'm teaching. In other words, regardless of what the stock market does, you'll have the freedom to trade with accuracy on any day you choose. Your freedom to take those trades, once you have this knowledge, is worth a fortune to you. You're not limited by news or anything else. Now, when it comes to market timing, Bill says no one's better. A lot of people would type in here, if I said, how would you rate my market timing? They would say, from 0 to 10. Let's say I'm pretty good. Now it's time you get your timing up to 70%. One guy just posted, Dave just posted 15. That's pretty good. Kerry said off the charts. Can I do it? Yes, I can do it. That's why I'm giving myself a month of these classes to teach everybody how to do it. The membership is $2,000. It will start September 15th. You sign up right now. We get started tomorrow. We start working towards our goals. I will review after we do the trades, and we got good. Oh, I got to tell you, folks, we've already had out of the 100 early people, we're down to 95, just to let you know. They're flying off the shelf right now. Okay? Pretty good stuff. How do you get the best results? Well, you're going to learn what I teach you. I've structured a training program to teach you to trade the SPX. Pretty cool, isn't it? What if your account's small? Has anybody ever had to deal with pattern day trading? Well, guess what I'm going to do tomorrow morning? I'm going to show you a simple technique that you can trade as many times as you want to trade during the day, regardless of the size of your account. How you like that one? That's going to be in the class I teach tomorrow. I'm going to make sure that everybody has that opportunity. Okay, if they want to trade. Pretty good stuff. What size account do you need? Minimum, I say 2,000 for this. What size account do you need? Minimum 2,000, okay? Will I be able to do the trade? Absolutely. If I'm going to take the next almost month to make sure you understand how to do it, you will be able to do the trade. You won't be in a program on how to do the trades. You'll be in a program you know how to do the trades. Like I said, this has got a lot of effort put in it to make it work for you, and you just need to get signed up. Where can you find the trades? All you got to do is look in the Telegram channel. You don't have to hunt around. They'll be there between those hours when they're set up, okay? Pretty good stuff. Why is it limited to 100 during the beta program? Very simple. I'm limiting it to 100 during the beta program because I want to make sure that everybody that has enough ability to get started will be successful. I'm going to have a base of 100 very successful people if you take this journey with me. Can you do this in a retirement account? Absolutely, you can do it in a retirement account. No problem. Is there anyone you can call if I have questions about the trade? Absolutely. I'll give you the email and we'll make sure that no one has that issue. We'll take care of it. Jonathan and I will take care of that portion, okay? Sign up at dtitrader.com, SPX beta, and make it happen. If you're new to trading, will it work for you? There's no simpler trade than buying a call option, okay? There's no simpler trade than buying a put option. I've been doing that for 40-something years. I will show you. And the beautiful thing about it, you're not risking a fortune to buy it when you're wrong. Is there a refund policy? You have 14 days. 14 days. Then you got to say, I'm in or out. 1 year membership, $2,000. We start tomorrow. The class tomorrow, I will cover the setup for the SPX, what I'm looking for, and some of the things that get in your way of making money. We'll do that tomorrow at 9:45. Who's going to be there with me? Okay. This is a bonus session tomorrow. Get signed up now. If you got any questions, you can call. Adam, type in the names of people here to help them if they got questions. Seems like we got a whole bunch of people taking these spots off the table. Get signed up now. dtitrader.com/SPX beta or call 904-706-3532. John, if you got a question, okay? Call that number. Folks, I laid it out for you. It's simple, it's straightforward. If I can't do any more than this to make and put the odds in your favor where you can grow your account. Yeah, if you want somebody to call, type your name, email, and phone number, they will call you. I know the phones are jacked sometimes. Make sure if you can't get through, type your name and there. Perry, do not wait. Call and talk to one of the salespeople. They'll help you there. I want you to be here and make some money with us. Okay, that's our goal. Absolutely, absolutely. I'll teach the class on Thursday, the second part of the class. Okay, I'll record all the classes. Great question, Nancy. Okay. Carrie says, I won't sleep tonight. I'm so excited. Perfect. Charles, this is learned SPX. Focus on that. Any other questions? Some good questions coming in. Way to go, Glenn. Glenn joined. A lot of people joined. Steve joined, James joined, Frank joined. Wow. Yeah, put your name and email in there. Make sure you get included in the 100. I don't know, Charles. You had to call in and ask the question. Okay. Yeah, William. The straight puts and straight calls are day trades, but I'll show you if you can't take a day trade, you'll just have to do it, okay? No, this is Debbie. This is on the SPX. Brandon, call in and tell the sales person and they'll take care of it, okay? Gary, put your name and email and phone number in there and somebody will call you. Yeah, Glenn, you can do that if you want to. Absolutely. We're going to have some fun in the sun. Any other questions? I'm getting good questions. Yeah, you'll get an email invite tonight to join in the morning.
Hey, T-Buzz, one thing I was going to add, right now, you're just going to get, once you sign up, you're going to get an invite. You're going to get an email that invites you to join the Telegram channel.
Okay.
During this beta period, we'll be building out the members area so that it has all the recordings that you do of the master classes and such. So I just wanted to let people know you're not going to go there and see the master classes because we're still doing them over this beta period.
Gotcha. No, I'm with you, but in other words, the main thing they want to do is get into the Telegram channel because that's where we'll post the next class when we're doing these things during the beta period, correct?
Yep. Those are going to what end up being the members area.
Yeah, I got you. But what I'm saying is like tomorrow I've got a class. How will they get the link?
So once they sign up, they get an email that has a link to the Telegram, and then we'll also email the information to them as well.
Okay, I got it. You'll get two things. We'll post it also into the Telegram channel. The link.
Yep.
Going forward, I'll focus on Tuesday and Thursday unless there's a special opportunity. And we'll talk about it at the end of the beta period. This is your program. I'm building around what you need, okay? That's the whole goal, okay? To build it around what you need, okay? I want to make sure my first goal is get everybody 7 out of 10 accurate. Once I do that, the rest, the wins, and the win's easy, okay? That's the first goal. But you got to learn a few things to do that, and that's what tomorrow and whenever this, I can get you back in there to do it, okay? Yeah, Pete, that is the second half of what I started with, but I didn't want to wait. Let me ask you a question. Are you glad I didn't wait for all those people that saw what Jim posted? Are you glad I didn't wait and we're starting early tomorrow? Tell me, aren't you glad? I'm glad. Glenn says, I'm happy. They'll do it, Sherry. Don't worry. Remember, we're limited to 100 people. You got to remember that point, so don't hesitate. And you don't want to be behind the 8 ball before we get started. If you need any help, you can talk to one of our salespeople. They'll figure it out for you, okay? They're here to help you. I promise you they'll help you. I don't want anybody that wants to do it. The average cost of the long calls will be around 200 bucks, Clay, 200 bucks. That will vary a little bit depending on the volatility, but that's it. Glenn says, we already got 11 in the Telegram channel already. We're gonna be out of slots if we keep talking, right, Glenn? I'm pretty excited about this. I hope you are. I think we're going to have a really great program. The reason I'm calling it a beta is because I want, unlike most things, I want everybody to start their subscription fully educated and ready to take advantage of it. Okay? Does everybody understand that? And I will teach you things. Yes, yeah, Jeanette, it is. It is on Thursday, okay? That's the scheduled class. This one tomorrow is added on for this program. Fern wants to see the links for the class, if you, or the links for the slides. You might repost it out if somebody got here late, okay? I don't want them to miss out because they showed up late, okay? Any more questions? It can be as little as $100, Karen, okay? But for the long call, long put around $200 per contract. Does everybody understand why I'm putting so much importance if you're playing long calls and long puts on accuracy? Does everybody understand why I'm putting so much importance on teaching you that? Got to understand that. That's very important. Clay, I will teach you tomorrow if you got a small account how to handle this, okay? Well, folks, I laid it out on the table for you. Anybody got any more questions for me? Let me tell you, I would price this around $5,000 if I wasn't going to do this beta group, because after the beta group, I might just price it that way. Okay. That's why you want to take this big part of the beta group. You'll get so much more out of it. Folks, thank you so much. The sign up will be open, Clay, until we hit 100 people. Okay. Jeanette, if you'll talk to one of the salespeople, they'll work it out for you. Okay. Maybe half or, whatever. They'll figure it out for you. All right. What you got to remember tonight, if you get signed up, be there at 9:45 in the morning. 9:45 in the morning. If you got here late, would you like Adam to replay the session?